I want to give thanks to the ancestors. Give thanks to the great mother, the ancestral seven ancestral spirits of creation, the archangels, the angels, the ancestors. I want to say protect those that are actually striving for righteousness. Protect those from that protect them from those that claim to be righteous but are actually unrighteous. Protect yours truly and his family from those that claim to be righteous but are unrighteous as well. Protect me on this righteous journey. Ashe. Grand Monday, everybody. I just wanted to say this. What is my piece, or what are my thoughts, or what do I think of this whole Trump segregation thing? I'm a little tired, but I'm just going to speak my piece on this real quick. What do I think of it? I think nothing of it. This is a wake up for you, melanated brothers and sisters, so called black people. Years ago, an elder told me that we need to separate. RIP to that elder. He told me that we need to separate and we need to start rebuilding everything how the way it was before. How you doing, Miss Shelley? People told me, this elder told me that we need to rebuild everything that we did before, like our own Black Wall Street, because we make up 1.4, if not 1.3, whatever those numbers is in the trillions as consumers. I think we need to start doing that again. We need to gatekeep our culture, hip hop, all of it, get back country music, get back rock and roll music, get back jazz music, and claim it back as ours, and see what they do with that. That's another thing that we need to do. Gatekeep all our stuff. Take back our spirituality, which is Ifa, Santeria, Voodoo, and all that. Take all that back. Gatekeep that shit. Gatekeep everything that we brought to this country, and see what they do with that, along with our consumer ways. And watch how this country turn to a third world country. It's already a third world country that's not talking about it. So my bit is, or my piece, or my thought is, let's do it. Enough with the talk. Enough with all this YouTube crap and all this other stuff. Let the action speak. I done said numerous times since I've been on here, I want to build with people and see. It's like this. You got to really separate the real from the fake. You got to separate the real from the fake. Because there's a lot of people on here, on these platforms, except for those that I shout out, that talk, but don't walk that walk. A lot of them claim to be for the people, but not actually for the people. My family, honestly, came from a background of a lot of revolutionaries, for real. I had 2 freaking family members that was 2 of the 6 founding members of the Black Panther Party, who happens to have my same last name. My family also knew Tupac. Also been around Tupac school when he was around, if I'm not mistaken. My aunts and them knew him. I had a cousin that actually mentored him. My family been in the trenches of this. But see, nobody don't want to talk. Everybody want to follow these other people. These other people saying, FBA, listen, in front of the United States Supreme Court, in front of the UN, FBA do not exist. The word black in the Black's Law Dictionary means deaf. African American is named after that. African American thing is named after food. I said it and I'm gonna say it again in the song by Stevie Wonder, Misrepresented People. It talk about who we really are. He said in 1492 you came across these shores and you counted the Moors. I was told years ago, in front of a brother named William Jolly Bay, we were sitting down at a restaurant called Terra Cafe here in Baltimore. And this brother who came out the Nation of Islam said, out his mouth, how you doing? He said out his mouth, literally, if anybody say anything bad about the Moors, they're an agent. I'm gonna let that marinate. He said, if anybody says something negative about the Moors, they are agents. See, I've been quiet for a long time. I've been quiet for a long time. Michelle, I haven't been on here for a minute because I had my time. I had my family, and also I've been dealing with my illness that I have, my ailment that I've been dealing with. But I've been really sitting back watching other people's channels. All this FBA talk, all this crazy nonsense. I went on Facebook, people saying that they FBA, but they don't know the law. Y'all need to know the law. The Black Law Dictionary, all of that. Look up look up the definition of American. It meant copper colored. In the Black Laws Dictionary, I think the 5th edition. See, nobody don't want to talk about this. Then I said there's an empress named Empress Sheba III who did an interview, I think 13 years ago, where she said the kingdom of Africa stretched from Africa to India to the Americas. I've been saying this stuff for a minute. We already been over here. King Mansa Musa came over here and traded with the ones that were over here. You got to remember the continental drift, all of this stuff. You mighty people created hip hop, R&B, you know what I'm saying, the banjo, all this stuff. You created all this stuff. Man, look, I'm about to put this dude on timeout because see, you got these trolls on here that don't want to hear the truth, but yet you want to go ahead and talk crap. But everything was created by people that look like us. Anyway, I just want to say what I had to say on that. We need to stop playing with this, man, because right now, this whole Trump thing, when I'm talking about this whole segregation BS, as far as what, the federal shit and all that, man, listen. Gatekeep our stuff. Take everything back. Our spirituality and all that. Give them back their Bible. Give them back their Quran. Give them back all that. I've been talking about this. I've been saying we need to get back to our spiritual practice for years now. But nobody don't want to hear me. Nobody don't want to hear me. But yet y'all listen to these people that's agents talking because they got this so-called charisma and they got things that you want to hear, because what I found out is too many low vibrational people that watch YouTube. They don't want to take it serious. They look at this for the entertainment. I'm not here for your entertainment. Not here for it. I was never here for entertainment purposes. That's why I give Black Witch Yaya, I give Brother Yusuf, I give I can't remember everybody. I give a lot of people credit. I just can't remember everything because I just woke up. Everybody be giving props too, you know what I'm saying? They be on it. Peace. I give everybody credit. But I do know who be out there doing agent stuff. I just don't call their names out. All right, you too, family. No, you too, family. But anyway, I don't call them out. I don't call them out like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't call them out like that. You know what I mean? I just don't. I choose not to call them out because a lot of people follow them for a reason. They follow them for a reason. Because they don't know no better. But yeah, here we are. I'm telling y'all what time it is. Gatekeep all our stuff. Take everything back. Hip hop, R&B, jazz, rock and roll, country music. Hell no, they're not. Even classical music. Take all that stuff back. Gatekeep all that. And see what they got to do with that. See what they're going to do after that. Just use our consumer money and put it into black companies, so-called black companies. Let's do that. And let's rebuild our own communities. And let's see what happens after that. When we start coming together, there's a sister named Aquarius Maximus. She spoke on this, I think, a year or two ago. She said there's going to come a time that we as melanated people going to have to really come together, and it's going to really I'm just summarizing, that's really going to come, that we are actually going to have to come together on some real seriousness, though. All jokes aside. And shout out to her. One love to that sister. Beautiful sister. I spoke to her on Instagram. She was on Black Magic, I think, with 360, 365, whatever it is. That Brother Rich channel. You know what I mean? She was on there, I think, a year or two ago. She spoke on this. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to her briefly on Instagram. I spoke to Rod Hayes on Instagram. People don't even know. I spoke to Rod Hayes personally. You know what he told me when he saw me? He said, "Real recognize real." He know that I'm in the trenches too. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to him personally. And the thing I greeted him and said, "Oh," and I'm gonna tell you, I said, "Oh, you back down here, huh?" He gave me a smirk and smile like, "Yeah, real recognize real." And what I meant by that, we incarnated back down this joint. You get what I'm saying? See, people don't know how deep this is. When I was on the other brother channel, he had this one brother from Nigeria said I was an ancestor that came back. And I know that to be true. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being ignorant. We incarnate back and forth down here to wake y'all up. And it's not a joke. One thing I do know, melanated people, y'all, we got to wake up. Stop playing games, man. Because guess what? If you separate, watch how many other nations going to follow up. Watch how they're going to follow up because they know that you the leaders. You the trendsetters. You are the gods that came back. And y'all don't even realize that y'all sleeping giants. Instead, you go to their churches and give and pay your tithes. And I don't have nothing against that. You go to their church and pay their tithes. But nobody not feeding you the food that you need for your mental. I ain't saying nothing wrong about the black church, so-called black churches, but guess what? They 501c3s, they owned by Rome. Don't believe me, look it up. I didn't came on here, had been on here for a minute, but I just wanted to get on this serious talk on how I felt about this. And honestly, what can we do? I tell everybody, hey, it's politics. It's politics. Don't feed into it, but at the same time, if he want to do that, then guess what, melanated people, you got to wake up and say like, yo, let's keep our shit. Let's start building our stuff up. Brothers need to be there for the sisters, and sisters, you need to be there for the brothers, point blank, period. Protect ours. I've been talking about self-defense. I said we need to learn self-defense and all of that. See, there's things that I know that I don't want to touch bases on this platform. There's a lot of stuff that I really do know that I read thanks to the Nubian brothers and sisters that I've been around years ago. You know what I'm saying? I want to say, and I'm going to say this because I can say it. There's a book by Dr. Malachi York called Leviathan 6666, right? On the front cover, Donald Trump is on the front cover of that book, by the way. Iran, Britain, all of them on pretty much on that front cover. Let me tell you, me and my family went to Whole Foods this weekend. And my beloved, she was in line. We were in line. She took a picture of the RFID chip scanner at Whole Foods. What is the RDIF scanner? When they microchip your freaking hand and all that other stuff. It was at Whole Foods. See, I try not to say too much, but I'm just letting you know where this is going. You know what I'm saying? I try to let everybody know where this is going. You got all these people. See, when it came down to voting, you was voting for like lesser of the two evils. It was like a damn if you do, damn if you don't moment with the whole election, which is gone, far gone. So now here we go. Y'all thought that this second go around that homeboy was going to be like stimulus packages. But I'm going to tell you a little something. Obama said it was him when he was in office, regardless of all the stuff that we know about what he did, he was the one that put the stimulus checks out there. Trump just put his name on there as a stamp. Just saying. All these people think this man is a savior. If that's what you say, Tom, hey, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you might be one of the ones that's down for the segregation thing. I don't give a daggone. I know you don't vote no more, Miss Shelley. I don't vote at all. Because honestly, by being a more, who I'm going to vote for? But here's the thing. This whole thing that's going on is a reason for that. It's about the integrity of the people now. It's up to the people to do what they got to do. Listen, I'm gonna let you know. The president can only run DC, y'all. That is the corporation. DC is the corporation. Each state have a governor and a senator, House of Delegates, and all of that. So another thing is they're not really filming in the Senate and none of that stuff. This is all an illusion. That's why we trying to tell everybody. But if they want to do the whole segregation thing, okay, fine. Let's go ahead. Gatekeep everything. But see, I don't get caught up in the chaos and confusion like that. Miss Shelley, you already know how I am. I just want to get my little piece on here because you know and I know somebody watching, they're going to twist my words and try to make it sound like they sound profound. You know what I'm saying? You know that, Miss Shelley. You know who we talking about. They're going to twist my words, make it sound like they say something profound. You know what I'm saying? Just like they did when I was talking to all them brothers and sisters in Ubers that were from Africa and so on. I still come across brothers and sisters from Nigeria, and they saw me with with my legays and everything. You know what I'm saying? They saw me with my legays, and they was like, "What you know about that?" What you mean what I know about that? I know about my ancestors. I know about the Risha. I know about the Odumare. I know about that. I know. Come on. I know about Oshun State, Ogun State. I know about the Kingdom of Oyo, Lagos. I know about that. Be like, well, how do you know that and you over here? Reading is fundamental. It's in here. The ancestry is in here and in here. You can't take that away from somebody that knows knowledge of self. That is not witchcraft. It was never witchcraft. And I want that person to know, dude, it was never witchcraft. You're blinded by your own emotions and ignorance. But either or, back to the daggone, back to our regular schedule programming. We need to realize we got to gatekeep all our stuff back. Take all our practices back. Take everything back. Take our consumer dollars and invest in businesses with people that look like us. And furthermore, I want to say, I have nothing against people that, I don't have nothing against people that are not from here, but the issue I have is when they are ignorant towards the people that look like us that's already been over here that paved the way. That's the only problem I have. But when it come down to it, we're fighting the same beast. I don't know what are you going to continue to sell slaves into slavery. What? Man, what are you talking about? These people be wilding. How you doing, Miss Monica? Thank you, Miss Shelley. You know what I'm saying? We're done. We're done with that crap, man. Listen, we need to keep all our stuff like I said, yo. Like, we let these people take our music. They try to take our image. Sisters, they taking your image. They listen. Remember how they used to make fun of sisters that had the hips and the backside and, you know, the Coca-Cola shapes? Now they want to have it. Take back everything, because listen, You're beautiful regardless, beautiful sisters. Like, for real, it don't matter how old you're beautiful. Everybody want to have you. You are truly the standard of beauty. We need to take back everything. What's going on, Rashid? How you doing, brother? We need to take back everything, man. Like, I'm telling you, it's time. Like, this is all signs. This is all signs that we need to take everything back. You know, you have people say, well, we're not our ancestors. Listen, our ancestors were relentless, man. They ain't take that. They fought. Y'all forget about Nat Turner and all that stuff. You forget about the brothers and sisters over there in IT. A lot of people don't even know. I'm going to give you a little story. A lot of sisters and brothers don't know that a lot of those witch trials were actually burning the sisters because they were the seers. They were seers. They were visionaries. They saw visions and started those slave revolts. A lot of people didn't know that. So they would burn the sisters at stake. A lot of people didn't know that it was the sisters that started a lot of the revolts. And also with sisters that also helped out with their revolt over in Haiti too. A lot of people don't want to talk about this. The war always been against to destroy the sisters and to distract them. Why? Because y'all are connected to the Vistica Pisces, which is the great womb, the great mother, and you are actually the goddess living a human experience. And also it is the brother's job or the man's job to protect and also provide, but to protect and also raise up you from being fallen humanity. This is documented facts. They don't want you to know this. Dude, I know my story. You need to chill with that stuff, man. Exactly, Miss Monica. Exactly. That's why I said we need to take back all our stuff. Our spiritual practices and all that. Give them back their Bible. Give them back that Bible, because honestly, it's nothing more than our stories that they've been taken away and then they put it in the Bible. But nobody don't want to talk about how King James studied demonology. And I'm going to tell you, the first 5 books of the Bible is the Tanakh or Torah. The first 5 books of the Bible is the Tanakh or Torah. That's another name for Torah is Tanakh. Let's give them back all of that and start reading our stories, our ancestral stories. Let's read about Oshun. Let's read about Yemoja. Let's read about Oba. Let's read about Shango. Let's read about Obatala. Let's read about all of them. Let's read about, you know what I'm saying, Baron Samedi then in Voodoo. Let's read about all our stuff. Let's read about all of our stuff. And how they took our fundamental sciences that we practice and put it into a so-called biblical text, and they pretty much took out fragments and put it in there. Let's talk about how the Greeks used the Egyptians' stories and put it in their pantheon of the deities. Let's talk about how Anubis literally is equivalent to that of Elegua. Exactly, Ms. Monica. Of course, they ain't gonna leave us alone. It's an obsession. Because listen, Miss Monica, mom and dad, seriously, we're mom and dad of civilization, right? The kids gonna want to know what mom and dad are doing. They want to be nosy so they can mimic what mom and dad do. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Let's copy off what mom and dad do, because you know they got the answers. They've been here first. They've been here since the beginning of time. Let's mimic what they do and claim it. Or let's see what they do so we can copy it. A good example, TikTok, how the way the sisters and brothers is coming up with those dances and how they would mimic that. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, you got all of them on TikTok saying like, hey, if they're gonna go their own way, then we're gonna be bored. Of course. You're going to be bored. Because the people that's going to come back and say, like, yo, we're taking our culture back, we're going to go ahead and build our own stuff. You don't have a culture. You never did. And I hate talking like this, but I'm being real. You never had a culture because your whole culture was built around our culture. And that's where I'm at with all of this. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, I can show love to everybody, but like I keep saying, first come first, my people come first. I keep saying that. I can love you from every nation, but my people come first. I say that a lot. We can't get over something that took place and that's still going. You got sisters that's getting killed in their homes. You got brothers that's getting killed out in the street, not just by their own, but mainly by, listen, a lot of these things they say, oh, brothers are killing. No, a lot of stuff come from, we ain't gonna go there. We know where they come from. You gotta remember, a lot of the police department have been infiltrated by the Ku Klux Klan. You gotta keep that in mind. They've been trying to start a race war for a long time. That's not gonna work. Why? Because an elder, like I said, told me before he passed away, he said, we need to separate, not segregate, but separate. Separate and start going back into our communities and start rebuilding them. And at the same time, start using our money, our consumer money, which is worth trillions, which goes back into the economy that keeps it going. Let's go ahead and start investing in our companies that look with people that look like us, to give back and keep that dollar flowing in our communities and see how other communities will react when we do that. Because I assure you, if we do that, watch how all the other communities going to fold, and all these other communities are want to be a part of our community. I'm just speaking some stuff that need to be said, that a lot of people, they talking about it, but they're not really saying anything or doing anything about that. Like I said, there's a lot of people on YouTube that are actually saying for the people, but they're not for the people. I'm just going on and saying that. Exactly. They are the clan. Of course, that's the history. They were the overseers. But I'm just talking like, I know what you mean. But I'm just going into this, letting everybody know, like, listen, we got to pay, like, we need to really go back into this. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that I can't really say that I want to say on this daggone bit, man. I swear it is. It really something. Because where I stand at on this is that we just need to take everything back. And we can, if we work together as a unit. There was an old saying that an elder told me. And look, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and do this. I don't got time. Look, man. Man, it's just too many people. It's just too many people. Like, we just got to wake up on this. Like, I'm only on here letting everybody know how I feel about it. And, like I said, it's too many people that's going to say that they for the people, but they're not really for the people, y'all. Like, and a lot of us watch them. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said earlier, that whole FBA thing, listen, that don't hold standard in the court of law. It don't. It don't. It don't stand. Like I said, the Black Laws Dictionary, I think the fourth or fifth edition, it said the meaning of American, copper colored. The word black really means deaf. White is a status, it's not a color of a people. White is a status, is not a color of a people. Point blank, period. Listen, people keep on thinking that white is the color of your skin. No. Of course they got jealous. They got jealous at Black Wall Street. They bombed it. They don't want to talk about the terrorism that they done caused our people. Many of our people are indigenous over here, and they know it. I was telling my beloved about the Dawes Road. She was like, the Dawes Road? I'm like, yeah, you never heard of that? She's like, no, she's from Florida. And she like, yo, I never heard of the Dawes Road. I'm like, yo, that's when people that were palm colored put down that they were Indian, put $5 down. That's how you got the $5 Indian. But people don't even know that the word Indian was not even the word for those people. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, Dr. Claude Anderson spoke about those civilized tribes too. You know what I'm saying? I'm a like say some of the stuff that he said. He said that a lot of those so-called civilized tribes took in so-called slaves too. You know what I'm saying? They were freedmen, but they took in slaves and all of that, and they made promises to them, and they didn't keep their promises. I'm just summarizing it. That's why I said we need to gatekeep everything. A lot of people don't even know that a lot of those so-called tribes actually had got DNA tested and found that a lot of them from Serbia. Is it Serbia or something like that? Or over there, and they actually have exactly. That's what I'm saying, Miss Monica. A lot of them so-called tribes, a lot of them people from Serbia, if I'm not mistaken, because because I don't fool with Henry Gates, whatever his name is, but he did a lot of DNA testing. He said that they're not even from here. Matter of fact, Dr. Malachi York wrote books on that. And I spoke on Mansa Musa coming over here. Like, for real. Like, it's like, we really need to wake up. You know what I mean? Like, we need to stop playing games for real. And it's like, I keep coming on here saying like, yo, we need to really, I'm on here to build with people and figure out what we can do as a people. I meant what I said. See, I'm not on here asking for donations. I don't want no donations. I want to help out the damn people. Exactly, Malachi, my man. Africans came to America before Columbus. Dr. Malachi York, he was one of the scholars. He wrote like 500 plus books. What happened? He was set up by his son Jacob York. Remember when Little Kim came out and Biggie Smalls, all of them came out? Jacob York was actually one of the executive producers of Little Kim's album Hardcore. They tried to, and they had locked up Dr. York on some stuff saying that he was a pedophile, but he really wasn't. His son set him up. His son was the one that was doing all that stuff. His son's name is Jacob York. And Dr. York spoke on the Biru. He spoke also Hebrew fluently. He spoke the real original Arabic fluently. He was also telling black people, or so-called black people, who they really are. He had wrote in his books about us being indigenous. He also wrote about this country being Tamaray, what you call Egypt of the West. And the crazy thing is, that's documented facts, because a lot of people coming out and finding out that the U.S. is Tamaray / Egypt of the West, and that there are actually pyramids or mounds over here. That's what he was talking about. He talked about the Anunnaki. He showed the Anunnaki actually looking like us, or us looking like them. He went into details of different deities and how they are interconnect and all that stuff. Yeah, Polite, but Polite, that guy, he ain't. I know Polite. I know of him. I kind of met him, but I didn't meet him per se. I saw him in person. He ain't teaching the right ways of Dr. York how he was teaching. He did a whole other route. Because what a lot of the people don't know, a lot of the whole New Wapian movement, a lot of so-called black devils came out of that. And I should know, because I came out of that movement, but people that were surrounding me when I was younger. I was taught by the best of the best. I was taught by people that came out the Ansar law community. I was taught by people that actually are Moors and Hebrew Israelites. I was taught by a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah. He's in prison for the same thing, but he didn't do that. A lot, like one of his wives came out and did a recant and talked about that he had nothing to do with it, and it was actually his son. A lot of witnesses came out, but they don't want him to come out because, for one, he was waking up a lot of people with his books. Two is like a lot of people realized that he was saying was true because a lot of his books are not copywritten. So a lot of his books that he wrote, that since they're not copywritten, they put in the movies. Like a lot of these sci-fi movies, they put a lot of his stuff in these sci-fi movies, and everybody trying to figure out where they come from. It came from a lot of his books that he was writing. Um, but I digress on that topic. You know what I'm saying? But I came out of that community with people that was guiding me, and they was teaching me stuff that I'm talking to everybody else about. Like I said, I hung around with the Moors. I've been around the Moors, the Israelites, all of them. The Ansar, Nubians. I've been around a lot of people that was in those communities. And I'm a Moor myself. Um, Temple 13, Joe Bratton Bay. That's what I don't know. That's what they saying, but it's like sometimes I don't go by his. I just go by the person that get the information too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of the people. I'm not one of the kids. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I give him credit for the writing them books and the information. I can't knock the message for the information. Only the information. But if he did that, then he did that. I can't say that. You get what I'm saying? I can't say that. I don't I try not to touch on any of that because I wasn't there, and I do feel bad for all that took place. But we got all these different things going on in our communities as well. If you catch my drift. You get what I'm saying? Of course I have children. It's like I have children. And if they came to me about that, yeah, it'd be a problem, most definitely. But I was like, I wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't there with the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't. So it's like, I also, how can I go about this? I don't like going by hearsay all the time too. I like to know stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like to really have hands on things and do my own research. That's how I was raised. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I stand on that. But I will give him credit for the books that he wrote, because a lot of the books that he wrote, I was already on that path. All it was confirmation for me. Mm, the whole thing is, when it come down to my children, I'm very protective about them. I wouldn't let nobody near my children unless it's their mom, me, or relatives. I don't let them go about people that they don't know and that I don't know, if that make any sense. I don't know the man personally. So I can't, I only can go by what people, how people say things, but I don't go with, listen, I don't have my children around people that they don't know. Stranger danger to me. And at the same time, if I don't know the person personally, I'm not gonna let my kids go nowhere near them. You know what I'm saying? That's just point blank period when it come down to it. I'm very protective of my children. Heck, I don't even have my children on my YouTube channel. I don't trust people too much. I don't. If my child came to me and said anything like that, I would look into that most definitely. But here's the thing. Like I said, I'm very protective of my children. My children are around me and my beloved 24/7, unless they in school. And we taught our children, if anybody do anything they ain't supposed to do, you come to us. I'm one of them dads that's hands down or hands on dad. I don't play when it come down to mine. You mess with my kids, I'm coming at you. Thank you, thank you. You come at me, I'm coming at you. Point blank period. You come at my kids, you come at my family, I'm coming after you. That's just how the way it is with me. So, you know, that's just where I stand at. If you take what I'm saying, and if you understand what I'm saying, I don't play when it come down to mine. So, you know, that's where I'm at. But I don't want to go off course though either. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing is we just need to go back into our stuff. Of course. I mean, I believe a lot of the children. I believe my children. That's what I said when I said about my kids. But but you gotta remember, a lot of parents nowadays are not really hands on. A lot of I ain't gonna say all, but a lot of parents not really hands on if you look at how things going down. But I'm old school. I'm very old school. I have open door policy with mine, but I digress. It's fine, family. It's fine. But I'm just saying, back to what I was going back into. Like, we just need to take back everything and use it and have it and claim it as ours once and for all. You understand? Um, I'm at the point where I watch people on YouTube talk all this talk, da 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 da. But what are we really doing to bring forth unity, unison amongst the genders between us and our sisters? And what are we going to do? We need to gatekeep everything that we put into this country. You understand? So those that's feeling me, I mean, I would like to have a thumbs up. You know, we need to gatekeep everything. I mean, y'all with me on this? You feel me? And I hope y'all understand me, because where we at, this is it. This is it. We're at the final stages. We're at the final stages. We gotta claim back everything that is ours. Enough is enough. How many sisters going to get killed? How many brothers going to get killed? How many of our babies going to get killed? How many times we're going to find out 50 or thousands of sisters has been missing in DC and also in the country every second while we're talking, for organ harvesting, for sex trafficking, even down to the boys. Think about it. How many times we're going to let the system dictate to us, dictate to our women, our men, our children? Ever since, is it called and what they call it when they is it desegregation? I can't remember, but ever since they did that, remember what Martin Luther King said? He changed his mind after a while. Said there's people going into a burning house. I'm just summarizing it. Do you know what that means? He pretty much said that he realized that he did the wrong thing, that we should have stayed separated. And it's a burning house, which means that the U.S. is crumbling and is burning down. The walls are crumbling. It's been crumbling. One of the things that the elder that passed away, his name was Arthur Burrell Ill, he told me, he said, so-called black people want to be accepted by so-called white America. Why you want to be accepted by people that hate you and love you at the same time? That's a love-hate relationship. We love what you can do for the country. We love what you can do for us. Exactly. We love what you can do. Exactly, Ms. Monica. We love what you can do for us and da-da-da-da-da and yada-yada-yada. But we don't like you at all. But we love what you can provide and bring into our circle, so we can profit off of it. Does that make any sense? Think about it. You created all these genres of music. The banjo was actually an African instrument that a lot of country musicians be using. Everything was created by you, beautiful people. Many of us don't even realize that this incarnation, many of you chose the race, the gender that you are before you incarnated down here. Some of you went back into your natural state, which is the melanin. Some of you decided to go into another nationality, but you decided to be an ally of those that are melanated. See, I want to go into something deeper about that, because now we're going to have people that don't look like us that's going to want to be around us now. We start gatekeeping. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of them decided to take form of another nationality. Because now you got some of the Caucasians saying like, yo, if they gatekeep and they decide to like separate, what we gonna have? What are we gonna have? I looked on YouTube yesterday, and this Albion woman who is another name for Caucasian. She was like, she got mad. She was like, "Oh, they got me effed up." She was like, "They got me effed up." She's like, "No." She's like, "I'm not fooled." She's like, "I'm not the same people that my ancestors were." I was like, "No, I like being around melanated people." She's like, "Because I can relate." That's what she said. I can relate. She like, a lot of them saying that the sisters have a sisterhood. Y'all have a sisterhood. Y'all have codes. Excuse me, codes and morals, right? A lot of people from other nations don't have a sisterhood like y'all do, beautiful sisters. They don't. I'm trying to understand. You said no, we don't. No, we don't. I'm trying to understand, Miss Monica. What you mean now? No, we don't. I'm just want to know. Just but yeah, like think about it. A lot of sisters y'all have morals and codes and stuff like that amongst each other. A lot of y'all do. You know what I'm saying? And you got women that don't look like you that don't have that sister code that a lot of y'all have. I'm not saying all of you, but a lot of y'all have that sister code. Like y'all get a lot of y'all come amongst each other. Y'all be like, yo, I don't know if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got, like I told my beloved, like women have a way of communicating with each other with the eyes and body language. Y'all know how to communicate with one another. Men, we don't communicate with each other like that. We have our own ways. You get what I'm saying? But women, y'all know how to communicate with each other with a look. Y'all got that look. I can't describe the look that y'all give each other. No, hell no. No, 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 no. I wasn't saying that. Hell no. Y'all don't have sisterhood with them. Never did. I'm talking about they want to have a sisterhood like y'all because the sisterhood that the sisters have, y'all have morals. They don't have morals. They don't know nothing about sisterhood. Think about it. They don't have a sisterhood. They talk. They be backbiting each other like crazy. They backbite each other like crazy. They don't know. They want to have a sisterhood like y'all do. But see, that sisterhood that the sisters had, that goes way beyond the beginning of time. And there's a book by Dr. Barashengo. Dr. Barashengo. See, I got to go into something dealing with the whole polygamy thing. That was started by sisters. It wasn't started by men because they wanted to build a sisterhood and deal with one man. And that was the origination of nation. But that's why a lot of kings nowadays in Africa have more than one wife. It was started by the women. It wasn't started by the men. Because they wanted to create a sisterhood and build around that one man, and then they kept the money amongst each other. Exactly. Imagine how they feel about. Look, Miss Monica, they feel like this. A lot of them envy that sisterhood. They don't even know what a sisterhood bond is until they're around you all. When they see how y'all all amongst each other and the mannerisms, the little head movements that y'all be doing, and they catch the man, they be like, oh, they get caught up by that. You get me? But anyway, I digress on that. My whole thing is I'm going back into what I was saying, like point blank period. We need to separate period and literally take back everything. Take back everything. Take back everything and gatekeep that ish. You feel me? Gatekeep it and take it back. Our spiritual practices, our dollars, all of that. Take it all back. Our music, all that. Take it all back. See, we can do that, but how many of us really want to do it? Exactly. I'm far delusional, fan, John Hanna. How about this? You get removed, man. Um, it's like we need to do that, and I'm with it. I want to go ahead and take all our stuff back. Of course, they jealous of you, Miss Monica, because listen, you're the true standard of beauty. They want your hips, they want your lips, they want all of that. They want your men. They want your men. They really want to listen. They want to procreate so bad because you got to remember, their birth rates are so low. That's why they're trying to intermix and stuff like that, because they want that. They want to intermix with the sisters because of a certain gene that y'all have. Do you know what that gene is? It's the Eve gene, the mitochondrial DNA. That's only found in African and black, so-called black women. That's only found in y'all. Only found in y'all. That goes back to the Vistica Pisces that I was talking about. That goes back into the great mother who go by one of the names that she hit, the 10,000 names that she have is Mommy Water. That's one of her ancient names. Who's also have equal powers to Oshun, Yemoja, just to name a few. And then you go back to something even higher than that. That they talk about, they call them creatures, and they were not creatures, is actually in our culture. And that goes back to the mermaids. A lot of people depict Yemoja, Oshun, Olokun as mermaids. Straight up. Your DNA go way back to the beginning, like literally. Of course. Of course. But you know what I'm saying? Of course, but this goes back into what I'm saying about who you really are. It goes back to taking back everything. It goes back to who started a lot of the revolts. And we got to take back, because that whole bull crap that they talking, you got to remember who's really in, who's in control. Is it Trump or Elon Musk? Think about that. Elon Musk is not even a United States citizen. Of course they lost their minds when they saw that. Of course they lost their minds when they saw what's her name, Halle Berry, Bailey, Bailey, when she played Ariel. But guess what? That was going back to what I was talking about the real mermaids being melanated during that time of Yemoja, Oshun, Mommy Water. I called Sister Shelly. Sister Shelly will tell you. I called her and told her about the sister named Real Kaya, who I follow, who I got nothing but love for. That beautiful sister, highly spiritual. And she did videos and show videos of women talking about mermaids, and also they're in Haiti or Haiti. And they have a saying, don't go outside late at night because the mermaids will get you. This is real stuff that I'm talking about. I'm not making up none of this stuff. See, I call and talk to Miss Shelly all the time when I get a chance to. And she'll tell anybody, like, this brother is a good brother. Like, I'm not. Listen, I don't ask for nothing. I just come over here to just go ahead and teach and talk about who want to hear what I got to say. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? But my whole thought process on this whole movement on what this dude doing in office. Listen, take back everything that is rightfully ours and move the hell forward. That's it. Take our U.S. dollars and invest in our own people. That's what we need to do. Enough is enough. Enough with the talk. Let's step back and do what we gotta do as a people for once. Enough talking. Let's go back into our stuff. Let's gatekeep our stuff. Let's go back into our spiritual practices. Give them back their Quran. Give them back their Bible. Give them back whatever else they gave us. And let's focus on us. Of course, Miss Monica, of course. Listen, I love my sisters to death. I don't see how brothers can get with people. Like, I love my sisters to death. But, you know what I mean? Exactly. But there's a reason to all that, because the melanin is real. But I want to let y'all know that I'm going to probably do a continuation of this tomorrow.
I'm gonna do what I can do if I can remember, because I'm a busy guy. I got things I gotta do today. You know what I'm saying? So, but let's gatekeep our stuff and take everything back and stop playing games, man. That's not want to be accepted by the Western society and go back into our shit. Let's go back into our shit. For once, let's go back to our shit. And also get the likes up. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep moving. Let's go forward. You know, I'm all about building and keep it going so we can go ahead and move forward. How many people really want to move forward and keep our shit? How many people really want to say like, yo, we're gonna go back to our stuff. Y'all can have y'all this, y'all can have y'all that. It's time to go back to ours. You get what I'm saying? You get it? It's time. Because it's not gonna get better. Like I said, the sister Aquarius Maximus, give a shout out to her again. She spoke on this stuff. I'll give a shout out to that sister. I spoke to her briefly. Like I said in the beginning, I spoke to Rod Hayes too. I spoke to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I spoke to a lot of them. Little old me speak to people that you would never believe I would speak to. But yet my channel ain't even it's not my channel ain't even at 1,000. But yeah, I speak to a lot of people that you'd be surprised that I talk to. I even talked to a brother named National Grand Sheik Joe Bratton Bay, who I'm under for Zamor, who is actually federally recognized and so on. And I'm a part of his Moorish movement that they started, and that I'm actually in the archives. I'm actually in the vital records of the Moors. So I don't have to make up anything that I say. Um, that's pretty much it. Let's take back ours. Let's take back our stuff and let's go back into what is rightfully ours. You gotta remember, we were over here first. This is Hammurabi of the West, which is Egypt of the West. This is Egypt of the West. Why do you think they don't want you to go in the Grand Canyon? Exactly. So let's go ahead. Exactly, Ms. Monica. Let's go ahead and get this going. You feel me? Ms. Monica, you was acting like crazy today, sister. I gotta give you nothing but love. Um, Mama Shelly, you were awesome. Brother Rashid, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for popping up on here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else that been on here, I thank you all. But we really need to gatekeep our stuff from now on. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you, Miss Monica. We need to keep all our stuff from now on. And I think this was a nice stream. I think it was a great stream too. I really want y'all to know that I'm gonna try to do more things like this, but I'm also gonna try to touch bases on the spiritual part, and I want y'all to really feel where I'm coming from. I want y'all to really feel where I'm coming from on this note. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this. I really hope y'all did, because it's like right where we at. We need to just do what we gotta do and stop talking now, and just be about it. You know, I'm willing to do this with anybody that really wants change for our children and future generations. And I'll do the best of my ability to do what I gotta do. And I'm letting everybody know off rip, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Behind this camera, I bleed the same color and so on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. I want what's best for our people, yeah. I want what's best for my children, your grandchildren, and so on. That's it. I stand 10 toes down, because I live in the city of Baltimore that's taken over by Johns Hopkins Hospital. You know what I'm saying? And I'm tired of seeing people like us struggle when all we have to do is really put ours to the side and our disagreements to the side and to agree to disagree and get stuff moving so we can move the hell forward. That's where I'm at. We can take care of all that other stuff that we got issues with another time. Listen, all we have is us at the end of the day. We get together, watch how all the other nations gonna follow behind us. I'm telling you what I know. We get our ish together, watch how everybody else follow up. And they're gonna follow us. You are the leaders, melanated people, so-called black people. You are the leaders. You are the ones that everybody mimic. Sisters, over here in the U.S., they mimic you. Them other nations of women mimic you. A lot of Arabic women are coming after your men because their men treat them like shit, a lot of them. There was a sister that I met years ago when I was in my 20s, an African sister. African sister. Exactly. An African sister. Exactly, Ms. Monica. An African sister came across me years ago. I was 22. She was married to a brother over here. And she said, I'm not knocking my brothers and sisters, my brothers from Africa. She said, but so-called African American men know about romance. She said a lot of African men don't even know what romance is. That's what she said. That was years ago. Now things probably changed. But she said that she was in love with her husband because he wined and dined her, made her feel like a real woman, made her feel like she was a goddess, or you know what I mean, made her feel so important that it made her get those butterflies, and made her feel like she was in heaven, cloud nine. You know what I'm saying? That was years ago. So what I'm saying is, we over here know what real love is. Divine love. And the truth is, those that were enslaved, there wasn't a lot of people that was enslaved like they talked about. I think it was like 10% people, 10% of slaves that came over here because we were already over here. And at the same time, the importance of all of this is that we need to really come together and stop this riffraff and talk, and stop listening to people who have higher subscribers that's sanity for the people and they're not. I don't want to say any names. You'd be surprised on how many people say they for the people, meanwhile their wife don't look like you. I'm just saying. And you'd be surprised. And Miss Shelley, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to say again, FBA do not exist in the court of law. FBA do not exist in the court of law. There's no such thing as FBA in the UN or FBI and so on. I'm just saying. Listen, foundational black Americans do not exist in the court of law. They will laugh at you in the court of law. They will laugh at you. The UN will laugh at you. We need to stop listening to people that don't have our best interest. I'm telling you. You keep on following these people. And you keep on listening to these people. You're going to be in a worse situation, the worst of anything, I guarantee it. Because if you walk and say, I'm an FBA, they're going to look at you like, what the hell is that? Exactly. Exactly, Michelle. The FBA is made up. But you can't tell it to the people. They thinking that that's the real deal. It's not FBA is not real. It don't exist. And at the same time, you can't be a Moor and an FBA at the same time. Michelle, you know who I'm talking about, all that. You can't be a Moor and FBA at the same time. It don't work like that. So my thing is on this, man. Y'all need to, we need to really just get it together. Stop focusing on the BS and just focus on the realness. What can we do to build our communities up? What can we do to rebuild and change things? What can we do as a collective community, a real community, to get ourselves together and start listening to people that actually make more sense? We need to start listening to people that talk about our spiritual practices, that's willing to teach it to us, that's willing to guide us through it. We need to go ahead and, yeah, we can use the Bible, cross-reference it, and blend it in with our stuff if we want to. If we want to, just to bring people on so they can wake up. Exactly. Hey, Miss Monica, I'm with you. That too. Exactly. Before I go, I'm gonna tell you, y'all don't mind me if I tell y'all this story before I go. When I was taking up my more science classes before when I graduated back in 2016 with Joe Brett and Bay and them, there was a sister. A sister. I want y'all to hear this. There was a sister who took the classes as a Moor to get her Moorish nationality and everything. She asked could her Caucasian husband be a part of the movement. You know what the Moors said? They was like, no, he's a European, he's a Caucasian, he can't be a part of this. He said, they was like, he can't be a part of it, he can't claim his Moorish, he can't claim a nationality with us. And I don't have, listen, I have nothing against a lot of them, I don't. But when we have a culture, we have a culture. If you don't have a culture, that's not our problem. Because your culture is actually a blending of our culture and other people's cultures, which made your culture. You get what I'm saying? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Miss Monica was like, Miss Monica did one of these numbers. So her emoji was like, what the hell? Yeah, she did that. Yo. They were like, he's a European. Like,